Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
He has time. He's got him. Side touch is there. Leaping grab. Touchdown. Touchdown.
Perfection. Expect nothing else. Do you like to make yourself a hot cup of coffee to start your day? We have both whole bean and grounded. Also great for all you iced coffee if not a hot kind of person. Even make yourself a frappe to quench your thirst. The best tasting coffee with espresso. It's only $18.99 plus taxes for a 12-ounce bag. Buy 1 to 5 bags and shipping is only $7. If you spend over $100, shipping is absolutely free.
Hey, good morning. Hope y'all got your coffee. It's Ken and Ken. Rob's got his coffee. Ken, the Lions, Vikings, Packers. I lose track. Rob, I'm losing track of which team he follows now. He doesn't have his coffee.
That I bleed green and gold, damn it.
I know he bleeds green and gold, man, but he's hanging out with the wrong crowd.
He's got team dysphoria.
They're literally getting their shit built on him.
The best part is even if I made a bet against the Bears, I don't got to worry about losing that one.
That one, you're good. You're to lock.
We'll find out next week.
Yes, we will.
Last night, the old men were correct, right? Because Rob, you had Baltimore yesterday, right?
No, he did not.
I did.
The Kens were correct because we both had Baltimore. Remember, it was split. Baltimore won. I'll tell you what, that I missed like the first 2.5 quarters. It seems like I didn't miss anything because everything happened in the last quarter and a half of that game.
It was all Bengals. It was all Bengals until the fourth quarter. It really was.
Well, third quarter is when my son got home. We started watching. I kind of had looked in, but it was like, oh my god! It was just like fourth best after that. Oh, here we go. The Bengals got robbed. Eric, that's extra push-up for you this morning. When we complain about referees, that means extra push-up. Morning, Matt. Good morning, Joe.
What's up, Eric? What's up, Matt?
Good morning, guys.
So, good game. Look at some stupid stats yesterday. Like,
fucking dude went off last night, man.
Jamar Chase, my son's like, oh my god, I'm like, let me guess, he's going against you in fans. He's like, yes.
Yeah.
Crazy Lamar for MVP. Yeah.
Back here now. Uh-oh.
I know he got hit in the face, Eric, but good morning, Yoli. But you complain about the refs. The IRS man down there, might come at you. That's extra push-up.
I'm on my way.
About refs.
How you doing, Ken? Is everything good in your neck of woods over the storm and all that shit?
Which one? Because we both had storms.
Huh?
I'm
talking to you. You're the only one that lives in Florida.
Oh, yeah. The hurricanes were well east of us. I'm in Pensacola area. I'm almost in Alabama. The storms were way. Now we got some more new ones coming. So supposedly they say.
He says, "Good morning, everybody except Ken D."
Yeah, look at he's really trying. This is the problem. Rob is like the Democrats right now. He's alienating people who could be his allies in the Nog wars, and I may now align myself with the Nogs against the anti-noggers, which Rob is.
What's up, JB?
After his treachery of dumping all the eggnog in the Boston Harbor before I could get my traditional, Christmas eggnog latte, because I like to get at least one a year. And now this, I may have to go on the team nog here when this war resumes. It took a pause for Peanut, and they made the Peanut Brigade. For those on X, you know what we're talking about.
I was going to say everybody on Facebook knows too, because it's all over that.
Yeah,
It's not a political show. Let me say this again.
Hey, Peanut's a squirrel. He's not a political person. Damn it.
No, the Nog Wars though is an X thing. The Noggers against the anti-Noggers. Rob is an anti-Nogger, trying to alienate a possible ally. But look, then again, his quarterback is
agree with Rascals, but I got to agree with him on that one.
They said Peanut's going to have a funeral. I think Peanut should have a full military funeral.
21
American hero.
huh? What the?
He's an American hero, dude. And not only that, but I think we should plant an oak tree on his grave so that he has all the acorns he could ever want in the afterlife.
There you go.
There you go. We are definitely pet friendly here.
Got that shit right, man. Got that shit right.
I tell you, you gotta love Haspels in the morning.
18 straight road losses.
Have you guys seen Haspel since he retired? The razor does not touch the face anymore. You look like a totally different person.
Yeah, he shall be avenged.
I think he already was avenged.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? I hear that Rob's quarterback has seen ghosts of Peanut in his house now. It might not be able to play. Yeah. Darius Smith is practicing. Dude, I mean, look at the Lions, because we have to make this about the Lions first thing before we get everything else, I guess. The Lions made a nice move. We talked about that yesterday. So, yeah, I'm actually. He's at his last drill. His last drill. Retired tomorrow.
He's got till Saturday, though, don't he? Don't he have till Saturday to be activated? I think the same thing's going on with CMC.
No, I think I saw an article on CMC. They're looking at week 10. So, yeah, that's what we're gonna do, Eric. We're gonna do weekly picks. We're not gonna let JB hijack the show with Lions talk. Although he's talking about other stuff too, but you know what I mean. Damn it, we're gonna get into predictions because we have Isaac here, so that means now we have that long IRS explanations of every score and how the numbers break out. Therefore, we need to get into it. All right, let's go to the first game. First game we're going to do today. This will be interesting.
Why don't we just talk about last night's game first? Are we done with last night's game?
That was a good game. Look, Amazon finally got their shit together and put division games on Thursdays. You know what I mean? That makes it more exciting.
Yep.
It was a good
game. I don't think Amazon decides who plays on Thursday.
No, but I mean, the NFL, they probably had a talk with the NFL because they want to get ratings too, right? They want to get money too. NFL wants to get money. There was even talks about possibly getting rid of Thursday games because players are complaining about playing on Thursday. But now you make it more interesting when you put division rivals on Thursday. It makes better football.
Yeah, the refs are terrible.
Yeah. Look at the scheduling.
They missed 3 calls in that last minute.
I mean, look, remember the scheduling is complicated. You know why? Because when they make that schedule, they're trying to base it off of maybe for next year. They're going to base off this year's final standings and then a little projection of where they think maybe this team might be getting better, this team may be on the backslide. I mean, we see it every year. Like, we'll have a couple Monday Night Football games. They're just absolute trash. But there were 2 teams that last year you would have been, oh, yeah, I want to see this game. Same thing happens on Thursday. Same thing happens with Sunday Night Flex. That's why early in the first couple of weeks of the year, sometimes like that, week 1, week 2 Sunday Night Football game is just like, yeah, wake me up when football season starts still. Because, I get division games always sound great. But some of these division games, you watch them and it's like a snooze fest if it's not your team. Like like
I
look
like
at
them.
let's
I
look at
like them. Like,
Lions Packers. You expect a really
Fuck you,
good game
Fred.
last week, right? But
Fred.
it wasn't. So that would have been a snooze fest for Thursday night football if they had that game transpired the same way on Thursday night. So division games. I mean, I just want to see good football. And you know what? To be honest, if it's like 2-7 teams, that could actually be a good game because they both suck and it's going to be exciting. And who the hell's actually going to want to win this thing? So I mean,
last year,
there is something to be said for that too.
well, last year
my
and the
man.
year before, Amazon was playing like the Jets versus fucking the Patriots. Like, no one was watching that shit. They'll probably tune in for a little bit and then they'll change it to like, some other sport that's going on. It's just like, if it's boring football, it's boring football. And like the ratings even showed it. You know what I mean? Like the ratings even showed who was watching on Thursday. It was on an all-time low because, they kept putting shitty teams on Thursday, to play. But now, you put more division games where it's more competitive, where each team wants to beat each other. You know what I mean? Now it makes more of a thing to watch. The viewership goes up.
Isaac.
Yeah.
Hey, Isaac, what division are the Jets and the Pats in?
No, I mean, yeah, they're different. They're different, but the thing is, both
No,
teams
they're in the
are
same
what?
division. I
Super
mean,
Bowl
that was
contenders, right?
But your
No,
opening was.
I'm not
those-
saying
those-
all teams playing were division games. I'm saying they're putting more exciting teams on Thursday to play each other. You know what I mean? Like
I mean,
Jets
I
and
think
Texans.
But
ahead.
that's what they do when they go to make the schedule for Sunday night football, Thursday night football, Monday night football. They're already looking to do that. The problem is it may not necessarily translate from one season to the next. You know what I'm saying? Like a game that would have been super exciting last year, this year is a snooze fest because one team just like fell off the cliff, or they both did, or the week you get them, and we've seen this too, right? You got this would be a great game, and then one of the teams is just injuries or whatever. They don't show up that night, and the game ends up being trash. I mean, there's no, I mean, it's a science at best. I mean, there's no.
No, it happens.
no-
I mean, teams get injured. Teams don't want to play on the short week, whatever. But I mean, this is one thing I probably give credit to Goodell. I know Goodell gets a lot of shit, and a lot of people don't like him, whatever. But he saw that on Thursday night games, the viewership was at an ultimate low. So what did he do? He put more exciting teams on the schedule. He probably told the schedulers, "Hey, put these teams together on a Thursday night game and watch the viewership go up." And it did. It reflects in the viewership.
Fred.
I mean,
Fred views.
Dan, I read your comment. I just ignored you. Fred, Fred goes like the Lions, the Bears, for example. I mean, based off last year, though, you would think when they're making the schedule, Bears, Lions, Thanksgiving. When you're making the schedule, you're thinking, well, the Bears were 1-1 against them. Both games were super exciting, and they're going to have a better quarterback. So this should be a phenomenal game for this year's Thanksgiving. But the way the Lions are playing right now, and they always get a Thanksgiving game, the only way I think that game would be actually really exciting for anyone outside of Detroit or Chicago. I mean, look, Chicago could possibly win in an upset because I don't think we're going to win that game the way things look right now. But you'd almost have had to put like Lions versus Kansas City, or do something outside the normal scheduling convention to get a game in, because right now the Lions are killing everyone. It doesn't matter who the Lions play. The Lions could play the Packers on Thanksgiving, and that game would be a blowout again. And people are like, oh, whatever. I mean, so that I look at. I know he meant that as a. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know Fred meant that as a jab, and honestly though, he's right, because when they made the schedule last year, the Lions versus the Packers or the Bears would seem like great television and a great game to air. But the way they're playing right now, they're just walking through everybody.
Are you kidding me? You asked Darcy, they lose on Thanksgiving. That's his excuse. They lose all on Thanksgiving.
Remember last year on Thanksgiving, the Lions were winning team. The Packers were where they were like 3-6 or something, and they came in and they whipped the shit out of the Lions on Thanksgiving. Remember that?
That started our turnaround.
Hey, look, Lions are a good team, no doubt. They're contenders. You know what I mean?
But anything could happen,
but yeah,
Thanksgiving.
Exactly. NFL is ever changing. Anything can happen. Dude, look what we saw maybe the last couple of weeks. The lesser teams whooping on the good teams. You know what I mean? Things happen. It's the NFL. It's ever
Actually,
changing. It's not predictable. Yeah.
Fred's got another great point here. Rerun the Bears Commanders. Who would have thought, looking at the season, that would have been one of the best games of the year so far?
The only
Right?
thing,
I mean,
the only
who
thing
thought
that's
that?
the only thing that's predictable is the Chiefs winning a game because the refs are all over their jock.
Bro,
Well,
refs just
speaking
suck.
about that,
It's like they
guys.
missed a lot. They missed a
Speaking
lot
about that,
last night.
guys, we need to get into the games this week because we're
No, I'm
going to run
trying
out
to
of
talk
time
about last
otherwise.
night's game. I want to talk about the bonehead play the fucking Bengals coach did. Why didn't he kick the extra point and tie it up? And fucking
Yeah.
Because
point
he's
and
on,
go for it.
On top of that,
because he was on the road. Because he was on the road. That's why. If he was at home,
but
he
on
kicks the
top of
extra
that,
point
explain to
and
me
goes
this:
in.
why did they go for the touchdown? The Ravens. Why didn't they just run the clock and trust? I mean,
Well,
I know Tucker's been missing kicks, but that kick
Right.
is like what, 15 feet? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? He's not going to miss that.
I mean, they definitely gave him too much time left on the clock. That was the mistake
Yeah.
there. And then you go for two because you're on the road. And at the rate that the defenses weren't stopping anyone, you just try to win and go home. That's
I
why
get
they
it, but
went
you could
for
have
two.
extended the game.
I'm
Bengals-
saying the momentum changed. If they would have stayed how it was, the Baltimore got hot.
Dude,
and
what
you
momentum?
pull it off, you tie it up and go in overtime and flip a coin and hope you get the ball. That's what you do.
Yeah. Well, but that's just it. I mean, so my game plan is now based on hope versus controlling my own destiny.
Well,
He was
look at the
controlling his
Bengals
own
record,
destiny.
though.
They controlled it all right. We've
I
seen
mean-
how it had it. See how it
Well,
went.
look at he gets a 2-point conversion. He's brilliant. It's one of those. He gets a 2-point conversion.
dude,
He's brilliant. For doing
If you're
it.
going to go to Vegas and you're going to shoot dice, sometimes you crap out, man. Like that's the whole point of it. It's like they decided they were going to put their nuts on the table and they were going to throw some dice, like, and
And
they
look,
it came
it's
up
not-
crap. You know,
I'm
it
just
came
saying,
up-
Yeah,
the first
They're
three quarters,
snake
I
eyes.
would have been all over going for it, but Baltimore got the momentum back. They were playing very well. They scored 20. I mean, they were down 14 points and they scored 21 answered points. I would have just kicked the field goal or the extra point and counted my blessings and flipped the coin and went for it. I'm just saying, I think that would have the better way to do it.
You know who I blame?
They were playing hot and they had the crowd in it. I mean,
You know who I blame is JB's coach with this go for it shit.
I mean, look at the like JB said it though. Like Tampa played for the tie. How'd that work out? It didn't. I mean, you're on the road. Your defense isn't stopping them. Lamar is moving the ball at will down the field. They're putting up points whenever it seems. And to be honest, so was Cincinnati a little bit, but they had a little tougher time getting down the field. You're on the road. You have the destiny. Your destiny's in your hands. You take the shot.
And JB brought up the analytics. Like a lot of coaches are going towards the analytics now. Like they're looking at the percentages on a certain play, and if the percentages favor going for it, they're going for it.
Mhm.
You know,
So,
like
But the thing is,
I think
that wasn't fine.
I didn't work out for him last night.
it doesn't always work out, Rob. But like
Oh,
that's why
I
it's
get it.
called
Yeah.
percentages.
Bro,
though, right?
I watched LaFleur do it last weekend, man. I watched it.
That's why we play the game, man.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like it's percentages, man. Like it's not a guarantee, but they're saying, you know, your odds are better if you do this by this 2%. It's
No.
better,
Okay,
so they're going to take
Well,
the
here's
2%.
My question
Morning,
is,
Cam.
what led him to that? Because, I mean, did they not take in the fact that Baltimore got hot? I mean, they were losing, but they got hot. They had the crowd into it. Everything was going. And now you just march down the field with like seconds to go. You could run out the clock and kick the extra point and make it come down to a coin toss. Or if you get it, at least you can, have a shot at it.
yeah.
I mean, right now you're going. I understand, bro. I get what you guys saying going 2 points, but man, I
It was
just wish they
different. I
would have
think
taken
it
the
was-
extra point and
here's
tried.
why-
I
for it.
think it was the correct call. Given everything in that game, it was the correct call because both defenses were kind of. I mean, at that point in the game, Baltimore's defense was playing a little bit better than Cincy's, but I think that was the correct call. You're on the road in a hostile environment. You just marched down the field, got a big touchdown
Cam.
by Chase. I think the only thing that really people should be discussing on that was not whether or not they went for it. Why did they go to
play
Jamar Chase? Like, why did they put
Here's,
the ball? Why did he go the way he went with the ball instead of trying to get it to Chase?
Here's why I agree with Rob, the Packer fans' point, is that look at the record of the Bengals. You know what I mean? You risk losing another game. So if you go to overtime, and both offenses
You
were
risk
driving on each
losing
other.
another
You know what I
game.
mean? Yeah, you could. There's a good chance that Bengals win the coin flip and march right back down and score another touchdown, win the game. You know, but instead,
look,
yeah, I mean,
he gets the
it's just,
2-point
it's just,
conversion.
yeah.
He's brilliant.
Analytics are cool, but they're just one tool. Like, and I think some coaches go with the analytics even against their own gut. Like, to me, football is a game of the gut. Like, you gotta, you can tell when momentum is on one
Yes.
side or another. And
And that's
if
why-
I'm a coach, I'm going with
There's
my
a
gut.
lot of times I think they should go for it, bro. I'm just saying in that last night's particular instance, I mean, Baltimore had turned it around. I mean, they
That's what
literally.
I think
I'm
that's
agreeing with you, Rob.
exactly why he goes
I'm
for
saying
it.
you're
though.
ignoring if by going for it, you're ignoring the momentum of the game, the current momentum. But at the same time, you're kind of not ignoring it because maybe the Bengals saw the momentum. They saw like, hey, the Ravens are now they have all the momentum. So if we go to overtime, the momentum's on their side. We got to try to stop the momentum right now. We got to put the nail in the coffin right now.
Plus, if
And
I'm
it
a
just
player
didn't
these
wrap
days,
out.
plus if I'm a player these days on Thursday Night Football, they've been fucking missing calls left and right. There were so many missed calls during that last minute of the fucking drives. Anyway,
What's up with the Thursday refs?
It's fucking bullshit. I mean, even the announcer said, "Don't you just want to get it right?" I mean, he was even like, "How many times are we going to put up with this? How many times? This is how it is. How many times?" It's blatant flags. We all see it. Everybody in America fucking sees it. I mean, the quarterback's head snapped. I mean, the guy pulled his face, and I mean, bro, that was a flag, man.
That was a huge miss.
That was
right
that was a 15-yard. That was an automatic first down, half the distance to the goal.
We don't cry about the refs. We know they miss calls.
I'm just saying, bro. It's
big
becoming a
call.
problem. It's becoming a problem.
His whole
right, now we can go to
we're
the
short-
games.
we're-
Right, I'm good. I just wanted to get that off my chest. That shit
Yeah,
pissed me
can
off.
you
we're
imagine if
shooting
that was
ourselves in
Mahomes'
the
head
foot
that
on
got snapped
timing.
like that?
So let's get moving.
Me and
Let's-
Joe should have
imagine
won
if that
that
was
shit,
Mahomes'
Joe. We
head?
called Bengals. We should have won, bro.
Hey, if Mahomes' head had got snapped like that, it'd have been a 30-yard penalty.
Right.
Yeah, double.
100%.
All right,
Anyway,
we're going to get into what we need to
okay.
get into. We're going to run short on time to do this, and we didn't do it yesterday. And well, if we don't do it today, we're going to miss all the games. So let's talk about the games this weekend, shall we? Let's do what we advertised and talk about this week's upcoming game. The first one we're going to talk about 2-2-7 teams. Can't believe the one's actually a 2-7 team. The New York Giants go to the Carolina Panthers. Hey, you ready? You're going to love this one. We're going to go to Isaac first for one simple reason. That is your Sunday Night Football in America game.
I got
They should have
Giants.
flexed that shit.
Right? I got Giants for that game. I mean, Carolina is playing a little bit better. You know what I mean? Like they are kind of getting things together. Like you can tell, Dave Canales is doing his best with that team, but I think, the Giants are just a better team, so they're going to win.
What do you got, Rob?
Which game are we talking about?
Giants, Panthers.
Giants and Panthers.
Oh, Giants all the way.
Joe?
I'm just trying. I already made my pick, so I'm just trying to remember which way I went.
Joe?
Man, I think the Giants. My head says the Giants. I don't know if the Panthers are going to win another game this year.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ken?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Giants, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants somehow mess this up and lose to the Panthers.
I still like the Giants team. Young is playing this week as well. They are committing themselves to Young. Go ahead.
Also, Jonathan Brooks is activated off of IR. He's going to be playing. He's going to make his debut.
The running back. The running back. Yeah.
He's a good running back.
It might be a little bit more of an interesting Sunday Night Football game than we're thinking. Two shitty teams. It might be a good game. Here's going to be a fun one. Really already? Yeah, I guess it is. Holy crap. And just as a reminder for Sunday, happy birthday, Marines. The Niners at the Buccaneers. What do you think, Rob? Niners at Buccaneers.
Where's it at? At Tampa?
Yeah.
Man, I want to say Tampa, but there's too much for them, I think. I'm gonna stay with the 49ers.
Joe?
Yeah, I'm gonna say the Niners because their defense is gonna pick on Baker without his receivers.
Isaac?
I'm gonna say Niners as well because guess who gets activated? CMC.
CMC.
I
No,
mean,
it's not. Week
yeah.
10.
No, they're
Nice.
saying he's activated this weekend.
Yeah, this is.
I
this is
talked to
week 10.
Niner fans yesterday, and they said that's
That's
the
what I
case.
was trying to say earlier, Ken. I read an article. There's some
Yeah,
loophole
week
where
10.
if he does something, he can by Saturday he can declare and be ready for the
Yeah.
game on Sunday.
They're
What do you think,
already
Ken?
saying they're expecting him to play on every
What do you
single
think,
source.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Tampa Bay. They put on a valiant effort last week, so I'm gonna go with them. And until CMC comes out and shows that he's healthy, I'm not gonna say that he's gonna wreck a game yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
I
Ken
think-
on this
I
one.
think-
Hold on, Isaac. I'm
Okay.
gonna go with Ken as well on this one and take the Bucks. I mean, look at losing your star receivers. Yeah, but he seems to still find a way. And as long as he's got that Otto, that dude's been a beast for him. So I'm gonna take the Bucks at home as well. We got the next one up. We got the 7-2 Bills. You know, the team that wasn't supposed to win anything because they have no receiving core. Yeah, those guys against the 4-5 Colts in Indianapolis. What do you got, Joe?
Bills.
Isaac?
I was just gonna say real quick. I think that Garendo is gonna be playing most of the snaps, but CMC probably is gonna get the red zone snaps. But Bills, of course.
What do you think, Rob?
Of course. Yeah, I'm going Bills too.
Ken?
They got too much.
Buffalo and freaking blowout.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the Colts, man. Look at it. They've been in some good games. They always seem to find a way to be competitive. But I think it's a great narrative with the Bills. You know, they have no receiving core. They're going to be terrible this year, and they're just wrecking it. I'm going to go with the Bills as well. All right, next one we got. This one, you know, this one's actually kind of interesting. It's a divisional game, so it should be fun because it is a divisional game. But it's two teams against one. Denver goes to Kansas City to play the Chiefs and the refs. What do you got, Ken?
Kansas City's walking away with this one.
Yeah.
Rob, I think that means you got Kansas City.
Yeah, I got Kansas City. They're gonna smack
Isaac?
these guys.
Yeah, man. DeAndre Hopkins is looking pretty good in that offense. Chiefs.
Facts.
What do you think, Joe?
Can't beat the refs and the Chiefs, man.
Nope.
So
Hey,
winning
we should-
combination.
Let's just all say refs instead of Chiefs.
Yeah.
Hey, Eric, Eric is taking his upset special. He's taking Denver. He says the Broncos give the refs their first loss.
Refs.
Wow. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
Bold pick.
they
League's
gotta
trying to
lose.
force them into being an undefeated team.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this could be a game they lose. I mean, I'm looking until someone beats KC, you kind of just have to take KC. But honestly, the Broncos are not without capability of beating Kansas City, and Kansas City is bound to lose a game here eventually.
Trap game?
The next one,
Trap game.
this
Yeah.
trap, it could be like a trap game. Yeah, exactly. This one I don't think will be as interesting because, especially with all the things that's happened in New Orleans over the last week or so. But you got the 6-3 Falcons looking to get right at New Orleans, who are 2-7. You know, a lot of us thought the Saints would contend for this division this year or be in the talk, and they have just absolutely imploded. Ken, who do you got for this game?
Yeah, I'm going Atlanta, and I'm going to say 10-point victory at least.
Wow, what do you think, Isaac?
Yeah, Falcons. The Saints are a mess. You know, I mean, they got rid of Lattimore. They're on a fire sale because they have no money. Their cap space is depleted. They fired their coach. Yeah, they're getting killed.
What do you think, Joe?
Falcons by double digits.
Yeah, you know, I don't think the Saints are going to get that interim coach win that some teams get now and then, right? The Falcons are just going to have way too much. I'm going to go with you guys. I'm going to go with the Falcons. Now, this game, this is going to be a good one. This one should have been flexed. It's a noon game on CBS, but it should have been flexed. Steelers at
Lions.
Commanders.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got Commanders. Good. Getting Lattimore was huge for their defense, and Jaden Daniels is taking the NFL by storm.
What do you think, Joe?
I want to go with the Commanders, but I'm interested to see how Jaden Daniels deals with that Steeler defense. That's going to be interesting. But I think I'm still going to go with the Commanders.
All right. What do you think, Rob?
I got the Steelers. I think they serve these guys up today or this week. It's going to be a close game. Steelers got too much defense, and Russell's got the offense playing better. So, honestly,
Rob picked them because Preston Smith is there.
that's not why. There's a lot of Packer homers that
That's-
are all mad about that, but he left because he doesn't fit the.
I was going to say, we
Why
were
we left.
talking about it all off season. If somebody's going to get traded, it's going to be him.
Yes,
So
that's all we talked about.
what do you think about this game, Ken? Pittsburgh or Washington?
Yeah, I'm going Commanders for all the reasons Isaac said.
I'm going to go with Pittsburgh on this one. Pittsburgh, unlike Chicago, has got a better offensive line to protect the quarterback. And the Bears were able to move in the fourth quarter against the Commanders. And the Steelers are coming in with a healthy defense that can wreck them, whereas the Bears weren't nearly as healthy and still did some damage. Jaden Daniels, the reason why he looks so good this year is his offensive line can normally give him protection. Even against Chicago, he got ample protection throughout that game. And the Bears misplayed it because they didn't think he'd run because of the ribs, but he did. The Steelers aren't making that mistake. I think the Steelers win this game. I think Jaden Daniels is really good, but like we've seen with any of these quarterbacks, you start taking their time away, which I think they can do against him, and they can contain his running, which I think they're prepared for. Unlike the Bears, I think the Steelers come in and win that game. And it's going to be a fanatically awesome atmosphere in Washington for this game because Pittsburgh really travels well to Washington, and that should be a lot of fun to watch. So if your team is not playing at noon, I would suggest watching that game if you can. I think that's going to be probably one of the better games of the week. All right, we're going to skip that game and come back to it. Next one we got the 2-6 Titans at the 5-3 Chargers. What do you think, Rob?
Chargers are playing really.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you,
Chargers.
Rob.
Chargers.
Well, you said Rob after I spoke.
Yeah. You got
gotta
Isaac.
you gotta wait. You gotta wait
Yeah.
to see who I'm going to.
Yeah.
So Rob,
Oh,
who you got?
well, I thought it was a silence going to break in.
Chargers.
Chargers. All right, Isaac. Rob. Isaac. Who do you got?
Jesus.
That's right.
But Chargers. Chargers are playing really good football, man. Like Harbaugh is really doing a good job. Like we thought, having Palmer as Herbert's wide receiver, you know what I mean, or Ladd McConkey, nothing was really going to come to fruition for the Chargers. But if you really watch the Chargers, how they're playing great defensively and they're playing pretty good offense. And Herbert looks like he's back to his old self. Like that injury bug shaked off and he's playing really good football.
What do you think,
Chargers.
Yeah, Chargers.
Ken?
Yeah, I'm going Chargers too.
Is that correct? There, the Chargers are the number one defense in the league right now.
Yeah, if you
That's-
go ahead, watch.
And I'm not completely surprised by that because they kept their defense intact from last year. Remember when they did this little rebuild? With bringing Harbaugh in offensively, they tore it down, so to speak, weapon wise. But they kept. Remember when we were talking about the preseason, we were saying, hey, look, they kept their defense intact, so they're going to be competitive. But I didn't realize. But then again, the Titans were the number one defense in the league for the first 4 or 5 weeks and couldn't win a game. So, and that's the thing about the Titans team. So deceptive. Like they're like the 1980s Lions. Are they good or do they suck? And you don't know until they show up that day.
I agree. JB Quentin Johnson has been looking, a lot better than he was like in the beginning weeks. Yeah. because all preseason he was dropping everything, and then early weeks he was dropping everything too, so he wasn't really targeted. But now he's getting more targets. He's starting to catch everything.
This next game, we start the afternoon games here. There's only 3 of the mid-afternoon games. Okay, and then we're doing 2 Sunday night football games. What? Hold on, let me check them. That can't be right. Yeah. Oh, okay. So Giants Panthers are on NFL Network. Oh, that's not an evening game. I'm sorry. That's the game in Germany. I saw the 8:30 and Brain said PM, but it's AM. So going back to that Giants Panthers, that's the game in Munich at Allianz.
Yeah, Bayern Munich. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Football all day Sunday. That's all that means.
So I'll probably be sleeping through that game. All right, the next one. I think this is a game that we all wish both teams could lose, but they can't. The She-Gulls go with the Cowgirls. What do you think, Rob?
I still don't believe in the Cowboys. Eagles.
Ken?
Yeah. Truthfully, I got to pick the Eagles, but I'm going to hope for a Cooper Rush miracle.
Isaac?
Eagles, but the Viking killer is in. Cooper Rush. Eagles.
Viking killer.
No.
I forgot.
But I think Cooper Rush. I think Cooper Rush plays a good game, and they give him a good game. But I'm going to go Eagles.
You know what? I haven't done one yet. Yeah, this is my upset special of the week, and I hate to take Cowboys, but you know what? Cooper Rush, when he plays, the Cowboys every year when he plays seem to be better with Cooper Rush than with Dak. And I'm going to say Cooper Rush is going to win in this game, and that's going to intensify the talks in Dallas to get rid of Dak. Because think about it, if he comes in and they win this game, that's like how many years in a row now where Cooper Rush has come in and they have success, whereas Dak wasn't having any. And it's just going to be more of the here's your sign, Jerry Jones, to get rid of Dak. So
Doesn't he have like a $90 million dead cap hit?
Like that matters anymore. Look what happened with Russ.
We might see the reverse hurdle again.
Yeah. So that'll be my upset special, and I'm making Steve happy. My coffee guy, because he's a Cowgirls fan. I gotta let him, get rid of Dak somehow. This game could be interesting. The way it's shaped up, the New York Football Jets, who last week looked like they actually were a football team. And let's be honest though, the Jets, even when they were losing games, weren't getting blown out. They were just being disappointing, right? They go to Arizona. Yeah, what do you think, Isaac?
That's a tough one to call because both teams, they're actually playing, better. And where's it at? Arizona?
Yep.
Arizona.
I guess I'll take the Jets.
What do you think, Joe?
I'm going Arizona.
Rob?
Well, man, I think I'm pretty sure I picked it's in Arizona, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took Arizona.
Ken?
Yeah, I'm going for Kyler Murray.
It's his quarterback.
Short stuff.
I'm gonna
He
go
loves
with
those short
Keebler
guys.
I'm gonna go with the Keebler Elf as well and help Ken's fantasy team.
There you
but
go.
I don't think he's gonna get a ton of fantasy points, but Arizona can win that division.
That's a good question, Fred.
Yeah.
Let's ask Steve, the coffee guy.
Hey, Rob, Steve, the coffee guy might stick a squirrel his way to your house, and you may not have a house when you wake up.
That's so funny, bro.
I'm just reminding you that.
Oh wow! The Jets added Carlson. Man,
oh my God!
Jets.
No
Wow.
way. They really need to change their name to the freaking New York Packers at this point.
Yeah, Rodgers is
Aaron
like come to
Rodgers
death
is more
row.
inconsistent than IBS. Oh my God! All right.
Jets is
All right, we got.
Rogers like come to death row.
All right, here
What's
we
up,
go.
Todd? Good
This
morning.
We're going to skip that game, and we're going to go to Monday Night Football. Tua and the Dolphins go to Stafford and the Rams.
Rams.
Rob's taking the Rams. Go ahead, Isaac.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take the Rams because, man, yeah.
Puka and Cup, bro. That's all you got. And then they throw in the running back. No way, man. They
And
Joe,
then
what do you think?
Finns
Yeah,
don't
I'm gonna
beat
go
good
with the
teams.
Rams.
Rams. What do you think, Ken?
Yeah, I'm going Rams, but I will say that Tyreek Hill will have his first touchdown since week 1.
Holy crap. I didn't even know
Jesus.
that stat. Holy crap.
And
Yeah,
watching
that's
some of that
terrible.
game last week, Waddle
How's
started to
the
get more
Chiefs got
involved
one?
and was looking more involved. I mean, look at the Dolphins team is starting to kind of regain a little bit of offensive form, but they're still decimated on defense. And Stafford does Stafford things. I'm gonna go with the Rams as well. All right, now we got 20 minutes left, a little less. So let's get to some divisional games. One that I want to get before JB has to go prepare for his 1 hour Lions show. The Lions, who are just wrecking everyone lately, go to the Texans to play the Texans. So that was a good segue. So Joe, who do you got? The Lions or the Texans in this one? And it's in Houston.
Man, it's hard to pick against the Lions, but I think this is my upset special. I think I'm going to go with the Texans.
Ooh,
Ooh, what do you got,
I
Isaac?
like that. I think the Lions. Just
Rob?
If Nico's back, I'm taking the Texans. But if he's not back, the Lions are too much for him.
And
We
you know,
think, Ken?
I would pick the Lions, but all those freaking Kitty Ken comments, I hope Houston absolutely demolishes them.
I agree with you on that one, bro. The Kitty Ken comment's kind of gay.
take that,
You
JP.
got that right.
Sounds kind of gay when you fellas say that. I want you to understand that.
Well, I mean, look, you know, I was gonna say something about Green Bay. I you know what? The Lions, this is probably their best shot in franchise history at getting to a Super Bowl this year. The way this team is running right now, and they made the move they needed to make. I think at the trade deadline, they are going to, unless Jared Goff completely implodes.
Jay, would you not view that as an upset? Like, would you not view the Texans winning as an upset? I'm pretty
Oh,
sure
it would
everyone on
be.
the panel would view that as an upset.
It would be. It
Wow,
would
baby.
be. It would be an upset, but I'm not. I mean, the Lions are steamrolling everyone. That's and it's one of those.
Yeah,
games
no, I
like,
was just pointing out because Jay said upset special and was laughing about it, so I'm just wondering if
this would be
if
an
he would
upset
not
special
consider
for
that an
sure.
upset.
Well,
Yeah.
look, man.
Yeah,
I'm only reason I'm saying if they have Nico, they have a full complement of weapons. I think they have just as much chance. I mean, they're a good team. The Texans are, and I mean, yeah, they haven't been playing up to it, but they're at home. I mean, they could win if they got everybody there. But if
Jay,
not,
is
the
your
Lions are
state-
too much, man. The Lions are too much.
Jay, is your
The only
state
thing
one
that
of the
makes me
states that
worried-
just legalized?
Uh,
Hold on. Jay, is your state one of the states that just legalized pot? Because no one's throwing jealousy at you. In fact, we're all saying that you're pretty unstoppable right now. That's quite the opposite of. I mean, if giving you praise is jealousy, then I guess we shouldn't give the Lions any more praise, guys.
Mhm.
Oh, he's out. Nico's out. See?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
The other thing
I mean-
too is what's called the Texans O line has been terrible this year. I mean, like they've been rabid with injuries. Like that's how we beat the Texans. We put pressure all over their O line and made Stroud basically run for his life. You know,
If Houston were to win this game, it would be probably the upset of the week. One of the biggest upsets of the season, actually. Well, maybe not the season because the Texans are a good team,
what are you
but the
talking
Lions are just thrashing people these days. No, pot failed, and it failed in
No
Florida.
pot. What are you talking about, Jay?
Smoking pot.
Who's smoking pot, Jay?
Your state is great. There you go. Well, hey, speaking of a state where they wish they could smoke a lot of pot these days and probably want to get to the quarterback so he stops seeing ghosts, would be the 2-7 Jacksonville Jaguars are at home, so they're coming here to Florida to play the Minnesota Vikings. We're on a 2-game skid.
I'm gonna have to go with the Vikings.
Isaac?
Trevor Lawrence, baby. Fuck them Vikings. Nah, I'm just kidding. T-Law. No, I'm just kidding. Vikings gonna win.
What do you think, Ken?
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to go Vikings because from what I'm hearing, Lawrence will not be playing this game.
Why? Is he hurt?
Why?
He's getting a haircut.
Getting a haircut.
I think he's got some type of injury. Yep. And Jay just echoed what I said. I saw something about that. I didn't look into it because I really didn't give a shit, to be honest. But that's kind of what the word on the street is. So
but even with Lawrence in, would you guys still pick against the Vikings on this one?
Yeah, I would still pick the Vikings.
Yes,
Me too. That's what I'm saying. Vikings all the way.
Eric is taking the Jags as his upset special of the week. Mac Jones is starting. Okay. NTN's still out though too, but isn't NTN out still too for the Jags? I mean, look at the Jags.
Vikings by 30.
I mean, look at the Jags played Green Bay tight, right? I mean, they've been playing a little bit better football, but this is the Help Us Fire head coach tour, I think, for Jacksonville right now. This is a get right game for the Vikings, right? This is a get right game for the Vikings. So, but Jay says, look, I'm not sold on Darnold, right? And I get it. I think a lot of us get it. It's like, do they recover from the 2-game slide? Does he get back to how he started the season? If he does, then there's no reason Minnesota does not win this game.
I wasn't really sold on Darnold too. You know what I mean? Like, he's had his opportunities. I know he's been on teams that have been kind of like, kind of poisoned with everything. Like even when he was on the Niners, he was a backup and all that. But Darnold's actually playing really good football. Mm-hmm. Like he really is.
He is.
You know what I mean?
He's playing really
He's really coming to his own with that Vikings offense. Kevin O'Connell's been helping him tremendously.
He's running the team. You could see it when he's playing. You could see he's running the team.
Managing.
Yeah.
He's being a good game manager. So he's doing what he's doing. Okay, now because Darren don't talk to us unless you're in first place, Ryan, and then loses 2 games. Wants to talk about the Bears. We're going to talk about the Bears. We're going to talk about the Bears, who have the longest winning streak in the NFL at home right now at 8 games.
That is amazing.
With their longest losing streak on the road.
There you go. Let's add that in there, bro. You got to put that
That's the 2 teams. But this is a game. I'll start because it's my team. But look at, the 2-7 Pats at the 4-4 Bears. The Bears look like, I'll have to see what the injury report looks like tonight. But dude, the injury report for the Bears looks like the amount of clients Isaac has to check daily for IRS fraud. It's like 3 pages long. So it's like, who is going to be playing? And what concerns me for the Bears is Jaquan Brisker is still out with the concussion protocol. This is the 5th weekend of no football for him. But it looks like some of the guys are, the offensive line is going to get a little healthier this weekend. The defense, it looks like some of the guys might come back. I saw a few were limited, but still no Brisker. It looks like Sweat's going to play though. It looks like, so we're getting some help back. But this should be a get right game for the Bears, especially with offensive linemen coming back with next week in mind. I'm going to take the Bears at home. What do you got, Joe?
If the Bears don't beat the Pats, they got bigger things to worry about. I think the Bears should win this game going away.
I would think this is one you want the don't you want a little separation from the, you getting your first round pick, New
Yeah,
England wins a
I mean,
game or
I would.
two and put a little
It would
separation there.
benefit me. It would benefit me if the Pats won. But I mean, I'm not gonna pick them just because I need
No,
them to
I know.
win.
I'm
Like,
just looking around, man.
I'm gonna be realistic.
Yeah. What do you
This is
think,
one of
guys?
those games, though.
I think this is a must-win game. I mean, Eberflus is on the hot seat. You know what I mean? So he needs to have his boys fucking ready to go and win this game.
What do you think, Ralph?
I mean, I saw an article where Poles said that Eberflus is signed through 2026, so he's good for till 2025 in his eyes.
He's good.
So, I mean, I don't think that they're going to cut him no matter what. I mean, they're blaming it on, Caleb's first years, all these little itty bitty things and the O-line. I mean, there's a lot of other things. So I don't know that the coach is not going to get chopped for this, but unless he completely tanks. But I mean, this is one of these games where the Bears better win. I mean, this will only be a big ass log on the fire if he doesn't do something. So,
What do you think, Ken?
I probably would have picked Chicago if it wasn't for the fact of all the injuries that you guys have and that New England does have a pretty damn decent defense. So I think that's where they might edge you out. So unfortunately,
I'll say this though to you, Ken. That some of the guys like Montez Sweat looks like he's going to play, right? He was limited yesterday, but he was practicing, so he's going to play. Between Brisker and Gordon, Brisker's out, but Gordon practiced yesterday, so it looks like he's going to play. And even with all the injuries you're talking about, the guys who are going to be missing are the same guys, some of them, that missed the Commanders game, and that defense bent but never broke. So, I don't know if that's going to help you at all with that. I mean, I get the injury list is long. It is long.
I honestly think
Calico
it's going to
Ken.
be a game of field goals, and whichever team's the one that gets the touchdown that is going to win.
Calico Ken. Oh my goodness.
Game of field. Actually,
Yeah, they got some weird obsession with me and cats. You probably shouldn't check their internet history.
Yeah, Montez and Gordon will be playing. Brisker's still out, and then more importantly for the Bears is we're getting the guy we brought in to be our right tackle back or a right guard back. I'm sorry, he's missed the whole season, and he's back this week. So that offensive line is finally, I think this week might be the first look at the offensive line Foles envisioned as being fixed in Chicago, because the center position has played tremendously better this year with Shelton there. So this is a game really for that Bears offensive line to get their first playing time together, be healthy going into Green Bay next week. I still that Bears defense is gonna be all over Drake May, and I don't even think that the New England is gonna stop Swift. Swift's averaging at this point, I think for the season, Swift's average is 3.5 or 3.6. But if you look over the last 4 weeks, he's averaging just over 4 yards a carry. So Swift has come alive over the last couple of weeks. Yeah, Bates is activated on that O line for the Bears, and that's a big one right there for the Bears. So that's like getting a trade deadline move right there.
Jay, this is Napa Indians. It's my high school football team, although now they're the Napa Grizzlies, but they used to be the Indians when I played for them, so that's what the logo is.
There we go.
Yeah, and
So,
there, Jay, I do like Drake May too.
Yeah, Drake May is looking like he's going to be something.
This quarterback.
Kimu,
class,
Joe Rogan.
Isaac's Packers fan. This rookie quarterback class remember last year when Stroud and all that. Oh, that's gonna be the quarterback class. Next year's gonna be terrible, dude. This year's rookie quarterback class is really freaking good. I think this could be a quarterback class that 6 years from now they're gonna put that graphic up, and oh my God, look how awesome this quarterback class was or is. I mean, you know what? You got 5 NFL starters out of this, and they all are looking like they're going to be long-term NFL starters at this point. I mean, they're all looking really good. So Drake May, there's a future there. Let's hope he doesn't get Mitch Trubisky, right? And like some of these other guys who he's got some promise, but he's just gonna get beat up and tore down and then get into bad habits because he's on a bad team. I think he's gonna be good. I mean, May, Nick. No, we haven't seen Penix yet. Yeah, this rookie class has been really good, hasn't it, guys?
Yeah, I will give them. They've looked pretty damn good. Despite these quarterbacks out of this rookie class,
especially Daniels.
Yep,
Daniels looks really good. He looks like
Bo
Stroud did last year.
Bo Nix is starting to look good too.
Daniels is getting a lot of great protection. But what I like about Daniels over, say, Justin Fields, he's got the athleticism that Justin Fields has in a lot of ways, but he's got the mentality that Caleb Williams has with looking to throw the ball. But unlike Caleb, the one thing where I think Daniels does better than Caleb right now is he's more willing to just take off and run, right? Whereas Caleb is always looking to throw first. He never has a situation where he just tucks it and just goes and doesn't look, which I think is the one thing Caleb needs to do better every so often, because that's a piece that's missing from that Bears offense. Like, the complaint we all had about Justin was he just goes, right? But that helped that offense out with the defense. Mm-hmm. Caleb doesn't do that, so he's not making that defense back off at all because of that threat. I think if Caleb would do that, like Jaden Daniels does from time to time, I think that would greatly help him. It would help his cause. But yeah,
Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
I was going to say, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say Jaden Daniels pretty elusive too. Like if you see the plays he makes, like it's crazy. It's just you think you're going to get him tackled, and he's hard to get on the ground. You know what I mean? He just takes off on you.
And and Caleb is pretty elusive too. We've seen him get out of some sacks, but unlike Jaden, he just doesn't take off and go. Whereas, Jaden will just take off and go, and then sometimes he won't. Right? So I mean,
yeah.
That's the one thing I wish Caleb would fix. But Caleb is still. I love his play over Justin Fields.
That's because that's the bane of his existence, Jay.
Offensive line. But you know what?
A good offensive line, something the Bears
We talked about it yesterday, though. There are so many teams in need of offensive linemen this year. Even the Packers need an offensive line right now. They've got some offensive line problems, too.
how are we going to say we more need our offensive line?
We need healthy players. That's all.
Well,
just not
that's everyone. The Bears.
That's part of the game, bros. That's how we deal with it.
We need somebody help.
It's a good thing this next year's draft is going to be offensive lineman heavy because we are going to see offensive linemen flying off the board this next year.
That usually happens.
This year though,
it happens. We don't see linemen for a while, then all of a sudden, boom! There's a big run out.
Yeah,
and then
this is gonna be a lineman year.
Yeah, Poles needs to take all that money and just buy any lineman that they can throw on that line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we were talking about
Caleb's
this
running for his life.
We were talking about this Wednesday. Bates coming back today. You got a first and 2 seconds, and your first second got Carolina going first. So they should be able to get some immediate impact in the first 2 rounds, and then they're gonna have some free agent money too. So that's gonna be interesting. But guys, we're out of time. JB is up next. Everyone, enjoy the games this weekend. Don't forget the Packers show is on tonight. We've got open mic on Saturday, Sunday. We got the Red Zone Rant and Alice Hall pregame. See us on X, YouTube, Facebook, and all the channels. Everyone have an enjoyable weekend. And remember, Saturday leads to Sunday leads to Monday, which leads to misery. So today's a hate day. What's up, Joe?
You forgot the Raiders lose to the bye week.
Well, so are the Packers. They're both losing the bye week. All right, guys.
Suck.
We're not the
Enjoy
Bears.
the game. See you later. Bear down.
Total Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, Facebook, and YouTube. Get all your sports news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B, Wrestling Roundup, The Big Football Show, and more, Shield TV, Lions Villain Report, and Red Zone Rant. The afternoon podcast